Hey everybody, welcome to Hard4Games. I'm Tony.
I'm Brett.
I'm Richie.
And a lot of people have been asking us what our thoughts are on the Nintendo NX, now the Nintendo Switch.
Yo, switcheroo.
Oh, switcheroo. What are our thoughts?
I still don't know.
Basically, the whole gimmick is that it's a hybrid between a handheld and a console, right? So it's like, boom, you're playing, it's just like a normal console. Oh, I want to take my dog to the park, but I don't want to pay attention to my dog.
No, just let the dog go.
Let the dog go.
Just let him go. Sun's setting.
Boom, old Yeller, take him out back,
cold.
whatever.
I don't know.
And he just goes.
In an airport,
Whatever.
hotties are hitting on you, but you're scrimming it up with Skyrim.
That's right.
Killing the Forsworn. Slaughter the native peoples.
That's right. So yeah, I mean, it's basically like a 3DS, but with no 3D and the power of
Just
a current gen
an S.
console. Just an S. I like the fact that it seems as powerful-ish as the PS4. Maybe not the newer versions of the PS4, maybe not the newer versions of the Xbox One, but it seems like it's at least on par with the current generation, which I like. Probably not 4K, but I like the fact that Nintendo is like, oh, we should stop making severely underpowered systems.
I guess my big thing about it is
stands for Switch.
I certainly like the idea that they have there. And as far as the power goes, I'm not really that concerned about how it stacks up power-wise anymore.
Really? Okay.
Because I've gotten to the point where even with like Xbox and PlayStation, with more and more games coming out on PC, I have almost zero reason to ever use an Xbox 360 or PS4.
Because of your PC?
Because my PC is way better.
But that's the thing, though, because, yeah, your PC is way better, but let's say you don't have a PC, right? So, like, your best option is the Xbox One or the PS4, but then you have Wii U owners that are like, I always refer to the Wii U as like a Dreamcast console, and that it was like between generations.
Remember the Dreamcast had that little Tamagotchi guy and the controller, so it was basically the same thing as the Wii U.
But the Wii U is like, it was like a Wii, but HD, but it wasn't even as powerful as its contemporaries that were like 6 years old, 7 years old at the time. So this is kind of like,
Oh, Sega.
if you take PCs and you kind of push them aside, because they're always going to be the PC master race, this at least brings Nintendo
It is a master
closer
race.
to the console,
It's just
to the other consoles, you know what I mean?
It's better bones.
But it only brings them closer. It doesn't bring them up into the mix yet. But for somebody like me,
There's nobody else like you, Richie.
a lot
You're
of the
a unique snowflake.
most of the overlap of games that are released on PC are PS Xbox games. It's not the Nintendo games.
Because you're a PC gamer.
So for me, if I'm only going to own one console, one other console, it's probably going to be a Nintendo console.
Makes sense.
Okay, so they're, because if you're gonna own one console that's, you know,
Gotta play your Zeldas.
that's unlike a PC, like the Wii U it wouldn't matter that it's underpowered, is what you're saying.
Right.
Because
I've got my power somewhere else. I'm looking for
Now you're
novel
playing with power.
experiences.
Sure. I get what you're saying, but I do think that your particular scenario, I would say it's more niche, right?
It absolutely is.
Yeah, because think about someone like me, right? So I mean, obviously I'm a console gamer, you guys know that, right? But I also have a Mac. So like the stuff that I play is, like, my Mac could handle it, but it's often not available on Mac, or I just don't care to bother with it. You know, I'll use Steam now and again, but I'm mostly console. So for me, it's like, oh shit, Nintendo finally got off their fucking asses and were like, oh, third-party developers may want to develop for us if we're somewhat comparable to our competition. Whoa!
But
what an idea!
At the same time, it's another situation where Nintendo does that.
Yeah.
And they use the current generation systems as their reaching point.
Instead of going beyond.
Why don't they like go to the future?
Richie,
I think they're so far
trying
behind.
As hard as
I
they
think they're so far
Richie.
behind. Like the Wii kind of worked because not every. I mean, it worked. It sold very well, obviously, but towards the end of its life, everyone had switched over to HD TV. So like the Wii, you know, you get your component out cables, it'd be good quality picture, but it wouldn't be HD. So like they're already behind, right? And they're like, all right, well, let's bump the quality a little bit. They're thinking about cost, right? But I agree. What they really should do is like screw it, let's go a step beyond, right? And then, we'll have this really powerful machine. However, here's the other side of the coin, is cost, right? A lot of people have lost faith in Nintendo, right? After, not the first part of the Wii when your grandma's playing along with you, but the latter part of the Wii, wasn't HD. The Wii U, not a lot of people bought. Let's just face it. I like the system. I enjoy it. I play it more than my PS3, but not a lot of people bought it.
Not a lot of boys bought them.
Yeah, they are in Sega's position right now. Sega came out with the 32X, the Saturn, the Sega CD, mostly all failures, and then they come out with the Dreamcast, right? And it's powerful and this and that, but people had lost faith. So if you have a game company that people have lost faith in, and then let's say you charge $4.99 for your console, and it's powerful as shit, but people are like, oh shit, Nintendo, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play my EA sports games. Those are huge sellers. I don't play them, but people love them. Obviously, they sell, right? So I think they're in a conundrum. I'd like it to be more expensive and better processing power, but they're kind of damned if they do and damned if you don't.
Right, because they're not going to win the fan base back with a mediocre system, but they're not going to win them over with an overpriced pile of shit either.
You got to win them over with impressive games, too. And in this Switch ad, the two games that they're showcasing are the current Zelda game for the Wii U, and...
Well, soon to be current. Yeah,
well,
released.
I mean...
Breath of the Wild,
And Skyrim.
Yeah.
Skyrim from 6 years ago.
Now, to be fair, they also showed tidbits of a new Mario game, and they showed tidbits from a new Mario Kart game, but it's so little game footage. You're not going to get excited about those games.
And
because
how
it's so
excited
little.
are you really going to be about another Mario Kart?
Yeah.
If you're trying to get
Some
people
will be,
to drop a big sack with a $sign on it on your new console, you really like to titillate them. You have to titillate them.
Titillate.
With some kind of exciting game that they can't wait to play. And that game is not Skyrim.
Yeah.
Because it's a teaser trailer, I'm not as concerned about the games that they showcased.
Mm-hmm. They're more about the console.
But I do have some reservations about the versatility of the console possibly being a weakness, because on the one hand, it's a really cool idea because I can just bring my Skyrim on the road, and I guess that's a pretty novel feature of the Switch. It's probably going to be the most powerful handheld on the market if you consider it part of the handheld
It helps
sector.
you ignore all those hotties hitting on you at the airport.
That's right.
You can give them the cold shoulder.
But it's sort of like, is it going to be portable enough, though?
Yeah.
Is it going to be strong enough to stand as a console?
Instead of just a portable console, yeah.
And then I wasn't totally convinced that the controller looks very comfortable either.
Yeah. So let's talk about the controller for a second, because you have a basic controller, but you also have the screen that has two switchable controllers that you can give to different people. You can play it yourself. Now think about the different possibilities here. So let's say you have a game that's like a fishing game, right? You pack in a fishing reel game, right? That you could just slide in. It'd be easy to just pack in different styles of controllers for different experiences, and you only have to pack in half a controller.
What if? Here's an idea for a novel game situation.
Lay it on us. Drop the bomb.
So this is a controller.
Got it.
This is your controller.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I take my controller and I give you half?
What?
That they're already
and I
doing that. They
take
show
half of yours.
Oh.
And then I am your left brain. You are my right brain.
And you make the worst possible game to go.
Battletoads, a new Battletoads game.
Yes,
a new Battletoads game. You heard it here first. New Battletoads game, Nintendo Switch. You switch controllers.
Switch your half brains with each other.
Instead of hurting each other in battle, you just hurt your psyche trying to play half the other person.
Instead of two people, you become one schizophrenic person who hates himself.
Let's talk about the medium. So this is going to be cartridge based.
Yeah,
more like a
show.
less like a cartridge and more like kind of like a flash cart sort of thing, kind of like the 3DS, right? Not disc based. Not Blu-ray based, DVD, whatever. cartridge. What do you think? What do you guys think about that?
I don't love it.
Yeah.
But I think with digital content, they're going to be able to get the big games in there somehow.
Yeah. Okay.
It may not be in through the front door, but
through the back door.
Yeah, you can fit a lot in through the back door. I mean, look at this. You just feel so good when you're holding a cartridge in your hand.
Quest
You
64.
Exactly. You just look back on games like Quest 64, and modern games just look like shit compared to it.
Will this be the renaissance of the Game Shark? Will this be the renaissance of the Game Shark?
Note that the Game Shark is itself a cartridge.
Yeah.
They could do that again. You know what you can't do is stack a CD on top of another CD. They would grind the shit out of each other.
That's right. It's not good. It's not good. Not a good situation. Renaissance of the Game Shark. Boom. You heard it here
that
first.
is backwards, buddy.
Let's talk about the marketing. You know what you did not see in this trailer?
What?
Children.
No, those were the children. They were us.
They were all grown up.
We're children.
Yeah. They were all like millennials.
We
like
never
20,
grew up, Tony. What happened?
Toys
I'm
R
a
Us
30-year-old
kids, never grew
man,
up, yeah.
Tony.
I know.
What happened in my life? Why didn't I ever grow up?
And that's exactly who Nintendo is marketing to, which I think is actually smart. Because the Wii marketed towards kids and like older adults, right? The Switch is like, fuck it. We failed to market towards the youngins.
Let's switch things up.
Let's switch things up. Let's
Switch it around.
market towards the millennials.
Fuck kids.
Yeah, fuck kids.
Sell them to olds.
But they realized their marketing didn't go over well with the Wii U. Okay, whatever. So they're like, okay, who is nostalgic for Nintendo games? Who is our market? 20 and 30 somethings. Okay, who's nostalgic for cartridges? 20 and 30 somethings.
Who's nostalgic for Surge?
20 and 30 somethings, right? Who are the Nintendo fanboys? Okay, not the kids that existed in the latter half of the Wii and the whole duration of the Wii U. The kids were not buying those consoles. Those kids were kids. Okay, how long was the Wii U around? Like, I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. Let's say 4 years. The Wii, the latter half of its life, 3 to 4 years. Okay, 8 years. Okay, those kids are 8, now they're 16. Okay, they're 10, now they're 18.
Their best years are already behind them.
Best years were behind them. They remember.
Waiting to die.
Yeah, so those kids are older,
Wow.
right? So now they're marketing to us. The retro gaming for us was the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the N64, the GameCube, even. That's who they're marketing to because that's their audience. Those are the people that still care about Nintendo because the last 1.5 generations of their consoles, kids didn't give a fuck about. People didn't care about.
Now, as we have children, we can buy retro classic cartridges for our children, and they will plead with us. Just get us a PC game, Daddy. Daddy, why are you doing this
say
to me?
no.
And you'll be like, do you know what a Game Shark is? You plug the cartridge into the cartridge, and you play your goddamn Quest 64.
That's right.
That's me as a father.
So my counterpoint,
Okay.
I think the direction was spot on.
Okay.
Absolutely, they need to win our generation back.
Okay.
I disagree with you when you say they marketed to us.
Okay.
Because when I saw it, it seems like they marketed it to cookie cutter 20 to 30 somethings they read about on somebody's fucking blog.
For sure, yeah.
And it's just like, it just felt a little bit out of touch.
It was cliche, I think.
Right,
A little bit,
exactly.
No,
So-
I get that, yeah.
I didn't see one person in that video wearing a lot of boys wear the GameCube t-shirt.
And that's what real guys wear.
Yeah. As this gets going, they build their base. I think they do need to market towards kids. I think it will be important, obviously, because those are the next generation of people that are going to grow up with Nintendo, right? You do need to market to these people, but let's say...
Can they really be called people yet?
No,
though?
they're not people yet.
No.
I don't believe a person is a person until they hit like 15 or 16.
And even then, they're a pretty bad person.
They're a pretty bad person. So, you know,
They'll probably always be a bad person.
eventually, I would guess. I don't know if I don't know if Nintendo will continue the 3DS line. Maybe not. Maybe they'll be like, okay, they're going to continue for a while, but maybe eventually they'll be like, okay, the Switch is the new handle. We're consolidating our business, right? So you have all these kids that are into Pokemon, that are playing their 3DS. Like when I was a teacher, like these kids were playing this all the time. Like all like handheld, like they play on their tablets and they play 3DS. That's what they played. and 2DS, of course. But
And
point
1DS.
is that they will eventually need to win over this younger demographic if the Switch is to be as viable as the 3DS. Now, with some solid Pokemon games, like that's the only way you can get your Pokemon games, whatever, I think they will be able to do it. Last question, are you guys excited for the Switch? Yes or no? One sentence as to why or why not. Go.
I'm cautiously optimistic. I think it's going to be the console I choose in the future if they play their game right.
Okay. Right.
It's the console we need, not the console we deserve.
Kind of.
That's
I'm gonna say no because I can't afford that shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come over here and play Tony's,
that's right.
and then I can leave with the handheld version,
Just walk out of my house.
stuck
Yeah,
in
exactly.
one of my big ass cargo pants pockets.
That's right. That's
He'll
right.
be none the wiser.
Cargo pants. Yes, because I feel like Nintendo is finally taking the necessary step forward that they refused to take with the Wii U. Will I get it? Depending on the launch lineup, probably at launch, depending. But I am excited for it.
Now-
But I am cautiously optimistic as to the overall success of it, I'd say. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like and a share, and we will see you guys next time.